We are going to see how we can detect colors using just Python and CV2 library, that is OpenCV Python. Alright, so before I start tutorial, I'd like to show how it works. So if I bring my cloth that is of blue color in front of camera, it will start detecting its boundary, and it is saying like this is blue color clothes. If I move it fast, even it works. Alright, so we'll see this tutorial. So let's start. So before I start, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create one file here with name color detection blue.py, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna import CV2 library, import Numpy. Sometimes we need Numpy to create array, that's why we need it. To get the video from webcam, so first we'll need to create an object of video capture using CV2, and there's a method inside it that is called video capture. We can put your camera ID. So for, let's say like you have two camera, it would be probably 0 and 1. For me there's one camera, so I'm putting 0. I'll have to use one infinite loop so that I can display each frames in loop. So to get the frames, what I'm gonna do is return value, and you can say frame from I can get these two details from using this method read, and let's say if ret, so ret is nothing but it is true false value, so it is success or failure. So let me just rename it so that it will be more clear. And now if this is success, I'm gonna do a few more things here, like I'm just trying to display it directly on window. So let's say the window is webcam, so I'm just keeping in the name as webcam, and I'm just going to display the frame here. So there are a few things before we run this. I would like to do a few more things here. The first thing is, like when I press Q, then it should exit, they exit this loop, and I would like to close the windows as well. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add wait key. If you don't know what the wait key, it will actually try to wait, and I'm just going to add one more operation here, 0xff. Nothing to worry about this, just try to understand. If you write this code, it will listen for the key Q, and if I press Q, this will execute this code, whatever we are writing it inside if condition. So I will just write break, and once it breaks out of the loop, I would like to release things, release all the memories and other stuffs, release the camera, and so that it can be used for other purposes, and I would like to destroy all the windows. Alright, so these are the basic steps I needed to do. Before I start, I would like to run this and see if this is working for me or not. Okay, this is working for me fine. My window camera, web camera is opening. So let me just press Q and see if it is working. Yeah, it is working, right? So there are a couple of things I would like to do before I proceed. The first thing is, like, I would like to set the height and weight. So the ID for weight is 3, so I would like to put 640, and for height I would add 480, right? Okay, now there's one more thing, the frame. I would like to flip the frame, since I was not seeing the mirror image, so it looks weird. So the frame, I will use CV2 flip method to flip frame, and it will store it in the frame itself. The code I would like to pass is flip code 1, since if I don't pass 1, this, although like the 1 is by default, you can pass -1 for vertically flip it. Alright, let me try to run this again and see if everything is working fine. Now you see the window, a small window of 640 and 480, right? Let me press Q again and create it. Now we'll start our coding from here, the main coding, that is of detecting blue color. So before I proceed, I would like to explain you a little bit about HSV. So HSV, you might have heard about RGB. So in OpenCV, by default, the first thing it happens is like in every frame is BGR color: blue, green, red. And so to detect a color properly, you can use RGB, but it will not work as expected. Sometimes it will leave things here and there. So it's better to use HSV. In HSV, like there are three things like hue, saturation, and value. So value is actually brightness, and saturation is like the level of, I mean, the color intensity, and hue is, you can see the color itself, color. So where I'm interested here is like in getting the color detected between 90 to 120. The hue color in OpenCV has minimum as 0 and maximum as 179, so there are total 180 values. So from 90 to 120 I will be creating a bound, I mean the lower limit and upper limit. And for saturation I can put something around 90, and value I can also put something around 50 for the brightness, and for maximum 255. Let me show you how this works. So before I proceed, I would like to convert my frame to HSV. So I would like frame HSV and equal to, here this method CVT color. Here I would like to add frame and cv2 dot color bgr. As I said, by default the color of the image will be the BCR. Alright, so here I need to convert it to HSV to HSV. Did I do something wrong? No. I can show you how it looks like, although this will not look good. Why I'm saying this is like it has three different things: hue, saturation, and value. So we see different things here, like different colors in different. Let me quit it and proceed. So the next thing I would like to do is I would like to set lower and upper bound. Lower bound is equal to, as I said, like we need to set lower bound of hue as 90. We'll need to create an array of NumPy, since CV2 library uses NumPy arrays. So I'll put 90 as hue. For saturation I'm gonna put 90 as well for minimum, and for value I will put 50. For upper bound, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put np.array, and again doing here what I'm gonna do is 120. As I said, like I'm interested in maximum 120, otherwise like it will change its color from something else, and it will also detect some other stuffs. Here 255 is fine, intensity and saturation. And what is the next thing is a value that can also go to 255. There's a method in OpenCV to create a mask. So the mask is something like it's an image where we can just have the colors where providing the limits, so it will just display the colors in this range. So let's create it, cv2.inRange, and I'm gonna pass frame, lower bound, upper bound. Alright, to display the mask quickly on a screen, I'm just going to put it in IMSO, and I'll show you like how it looks. Alright, so for some reason I'm seeing my face as well little bit. Can you guess why this is happening? Why it is trying to detect my face here? So alright, it's detecting my face as well. The reason behind that is I have used frame instead of frame HSV. That's why. Let me just quit my webcam and put it HSV and try to run it again. Now I see complete dark here. As soon as I bring my cloth that was in blue color in front of camera, it will start displaying something in white. Okay, it's not ghost, it's just my cloth that I brought in front of camera. Alright, so it's properly like masking it, and rest of the things are black. Alright, let me just quit it by pressing Q. And the next thing what I can do here is this mask. So alright, so what I want to do is like I want to get the bounding box. So what I mean by bounding box is, let's say, the left top corner XY of the cloth which I'm bringing in front of camera, and the width and height of it. So how we can do that? So before we can do that, we need to create a get contours. Contours is just the boundary of it. Let me just write it, then I will explain you a few things. So in CV2 we have a library method like find contours. The first thing is like mask. I'm just going to put mask. So we need a grayscale image here. Alright, so binary grayscale, and that's mask is already in binary right now. Okay, so next thing what we can do in find contours, we need to pass mode and method. So mode would be RT external and CV2 chain approx simple. Okay, so you can read more about this, but I will give you a hint. So basically this is retrieval mode, and if I use external, it will just detect the outer contours. If it is trying to detect one of the object inside that contours, it will actually not include it. So there are other things like retrieval, list, and tree and all. So you can try to read it. These are very basic things. You can just understand like why chain approx simple is the same thing, like it's a method of doing it. There are two. One is a chain approx simple, and another is, let me show you. Chain approx, non-chain approx. So these are the things we can use for now. Like I will be using chain approx simple, and it returns contours and hierarchy. Although I don't need hierarchy variable, but just to show you like what it returns, I'm writing this here. We can also put underscore here. Alright, so we'll proceed further, and to display, like this is an array. So what I want is like I want to loop contour in contours. Okay, so you have print contours. So probably you can find some values. Contour, let me try to run it and see what type of values it is returning. Okay, so as you see, like started detecting some coordinates here, it is printing some coordinates. Okay, so what I can do here is I can just although yeah, let me show you what are these values, but this is not very useful to us right now, since we need x, y, and width and height. So there's a method in CV2 that can help. So bounding rect, so it will provide bounding rect if I pass contour. So I will unwrap xywh. Okay, let me try to print xywh. Now this will probably look something useful. So now you can see these widths, I mean x, y, and widths are coming width side. If I bring my clothes in, I will see the bigger values in width and height are coming. Let me just stop this and show you a bit. Okay, yeah, so as you see, like these 352 and 45405, these are the values, bigger values I'm getting. Apart from that, all are in 1 to 10. So I'm interested in something bigger than 50 pixels. Okay, so what I will do, rest of the things are noise, so I will ignore it. So if width is greater than equal to 50 or height is greater than equal to 50, either of it will this condition will work for me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw a rectangle here, and on original frame which I'm getting it from camera. Alright, just let me just quickly reduce width of my editor. Okay, fine. Now as you see, to draw a rectangle I need couple of things: 0.1, 0.2, color, thickness. So I will be using these 5 parameters. So 0.1 will be x and y, 0.2 will be the right diagonal and bottom right. So actually we need to provide the first corner of top left and the bottom right. So for the bottom right, I need to write x plus w and y plus h. Alright, for color I can use green. I'll just keep it some other slightly of BGR, so R comes some slightly of 20 in R, and thickness I'll keep it 3. So let me put some spaces here so that it won't show underline. Okay, so now it will draw a rectangle over this frame, over this image, so I can use this image to see in window. Alright, so as I see here everything properly. Now when I bring my cloth here, it will try to detect it. I mean, since this is a blue color, it will try to detect it properly. Although sometimes you see there are two bounding rectangles are coming, but the reason is like it is thinking it has two different objects, but when I hold it like this, it finds it only one. So you can do some fine tuning and just pick the first one as well if you want. So that was it from this video. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.